evening. I am Phyllis Logan, and welcome to the Chicago West Side Branch show. We are going to get started. As I stated last week, we were going to follow up with our conversation last week in reference to the election. We want to hear from you this evening on your opinions of the outcome of the election. Give us a call, 312-738-1060. Let us know your thoughts, your reactions. But I'm going to show you on the screen the descriptive of the party's philosophy, or the party's description that just won. And then once again, call in. We want you to be very engaged this evening. We need to hear from you, the community, at 312-738-1060. Give us your comments, your thoughts on the outcome of this past Tuesday's election. So the party that just won, their platform consists of, let's read through this. This party's platform involves support for free market capitalism, free enterprise, business, a strong national defense, deregulation, restrictions on labor unions, social conservative policies, particularly opposition to abortions and same-sex marriages, and traditional values. People have to describe what their traditional values are. And usually it's with a Judeo-Christian ethical foundation. You could always research and look this up as well. They were once dominant in the Northeast and Midwest. The party's core support now comes from the South and the Mountain West. And we have a caller, but I want to finish this statement, as well as conservative Catholics and evangelicals across the country. So we have a caller. Caller, your question or comment? Yes, caller.
Yes. Good evening. Great show. You know, what gets me is you have people in the streets right now protesting the outcome of this election.
Mm-hmm.
If they had gone out and voted, I'll bet you that Ms. Clinton would have won. But no, they'd rather protest out there. Another thing is, he got out his people.
So your thoughts are that what? Not enough people went out to vote in your party favor? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm saying is that people that are protesting right now, if they had gone yesterday and voted, they wouldn't be protesting today. And guess what? If they're going to protest and not go vote next year, or the next 4 years, that's exactly what's going to happen again.
So give me your comment. Did the outcome come in your favor?
Yeah, President Obama had no difficulty in getting the people out.
Okay, so let me ask you a question, caller. Did the outcome come in your favor? Is this what you expected, the outcome?
Well, that's for me to know.
Okay, I'll leave it at that. So, more work needs to be done in favor of those that are out there now protesting. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, it did.
Okay, I appreciate you. Thank you, caller. We, with the Naacp, we are a nonpartisan organization. Our whole goals and objectives is to get people registered to vote and make sure that they get out to vote through the election cycle. Yes, there are the by years, off years. Every 2 years there's an election, and many categories of national electorates as well as statewide officials are elected during the off year. So in 2018, there will be another election for other congressmen and U.S. senators, as well as our state reps and possibly some of our state senators. So once again, the Naacp, our goals and objectives are, as a nonpartisan organization, is to help people get registered to vote, but to also make sure people are aware of when the election day occurs and to assist where we can at getting people to the polls. So, this platform that of the popular elections that just occurred, this is their philosophy. If you have issues with these categories, then that's why your vote would have been necessary on Tuesday for you to vote against this platform. So we always tell people you have to vote for people who represent you. And in order for you to find out, what their thoughts and concerns are, you literally have to attend functions where elected officials are hosting forums for you to hear from them. So, the outcome came with many results, but I also want to read to you or give you some of the numbers. From the statewide, these are unofficial numbers from the state. So I'm going to give you from the city's Chicago Board of Elections numbers. In the city of Chicago, there are roughly 1,570,529 registered voters. Of that 1,500,000, 1,078,000 individuals came out to vote. That was literally 68% of the registered voters. That's not a good outcome when everyone vote counts. But at the same token, every registered voter, when you register to vote, you're actually stating to your elected officials that you want to be represented. 68% of us exercised our vote. 68% of us will have reason when our representatives are not living up to the task of being able to serve us as we elected them to do. So you can break that down in many wards, in different precincts. There's a rhythm, there's a method to how many people are actually voting. There is targeted audiences, targeted communities that we, the Naacp, will go out in. Case in point, let's look at an area. I'm familiar with the 29th Ward. I do a lot of work out of the 29th Ward. In the 29th Ward, there are roughly 30 precincts. So let me give you an example. I don't know where these precincts are located, but in precinct number 1 in the 29th Ward, there are 826 registered voters. Of that 826 people, 623 of them, or 75%, came out to vote. Let's give you another area, another precinct. There's a precinct number 7 in the 29th Ward. In precinct number 7 of the 29th Ward, there are 689 registered voters, and 499, or 72%, came out to vote. These are disturbing numbers when, especially in Chicago, we literally had 2 weeks of early voting. There were 2 weeks straight from 8 to 5 that individuals could have walked in to the early voting spaces, places, and voted that day without having to worry about long lines on November 8th. We have got to do a better job. If we want to be represented by people who and elect people who represent us, we have got to do a better job of voting for them. So I need to hear your thoughts and comments. 312-738-1060. Give us a call. Let us know your comments on the outcome of this past election. Many people we hear from the last caller, many cities are protesting the outcome. Why protest when all you have to do is vote? There are numbers right now, statistics that are out right now that show that the number of people who are registered to vote compared to other years of registered voters coming out and exercising this right to vote, the numbers were down this year. So if the outcome didn't go in your favor, it's because the registered voters didn't come out in numbers as they should have. Give me a call, 312-738-1060. Let us hear your questions or comments. It's important that we hear from you, the audience, on your perspective of how you feel about this past election. And there will be other elections, as the last caller stated, but you have to vote your conscience, vote for what you believe in, vote for people who will best represent you. and then hold them accountable throughout the term. Our U.S. senators are in office for 4 years to 6 years. Our U.S. congressmen, whether they are the House of Representatives or our states, our national senators, are in office for a term as well. So we got a caller. Caller, your question or comment? Yes, caller. Are you there, caller?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay.
Yes, I just want to make a comment. Yes, I'm here.
I can hear you. Go ahead.
I want to make a comment.
Go ahead.
Okay. Over in Africa, when they have to carry people on their back to go to the polls to vote, they were very much concerned. And it's I feel this way. Since we had a low percentage among our people didn't go out to vote, they're going to feel it next year. And it's going to be terrible. No use of crying, going to your aldermans, raising Cain, because you sit at home and then go vote.
And we're talking about from a national perspective too, caller. Thank you very much. Yes. For those that feel that the outcome did not go in their favor, you have to really be aware that it's not just this one state. It's the United States. And if you look at the numbers throughout the United States, many one-party voters, representatives did not come out in a big way, and the other parties did. So, whether that had to do with, the platform and what they heard and the way they wanted the country to go, I don't know. But this is what happens when, once again, if we have 68% of registered voters coming out to vote, the Democratic Party did get the populist vote. More people voted Democrat than Republican, but the Republicans got the delegates who elect the president. So that speaks volumes as well. And we've always talked about it. There is something wrong when we do not attend civic engagement forums, when our kids in high school are not taught civic engagement as well. Something's wrong with that when we don't understand how government should represent us and how government should work. So 312-738-1060. Give us a call. Let us hear your comments or questions on. Let us hear how you felt about the outcome of Tuesday's election. We want to go back to this platform because this party's platform really speaks volumes to how the country's next administration will conduct business. And that's really what we want you to understand. This is part of the civic engagement that many times we don't hear about. How does one party represent, the country as opposed to the other one? So I'm going to show you this overhead one more time, but feel free to give us a call at 312-738-1060. Let us know give us your comments. Let us know your opinion on your thoughts on how the outcome of this election was. Was it in your favor? Did it speak to you? Or was it disturbing? And what thoughts do you have? So once again, this party that just won, its platform consists of free market capitalism, free enterprise, business, a strong national defense, deregulations, restrictions on labor unions, social conservative policies, particularly oppositions to abortion and same-sex marriages and other traditional values, usually with a Judeo-Christian ethical foundation. This is the methodology that our country will now be serving. And if, you're opposed to this, you're going to have to learn to see you'll see how it operates, but you'll learn more about it. And I strongly suggest that people go and research this and try to follow suit with how this next administration is going to run our country. The Naacp nationally, as well as locally, we are a nonpartisan organization, but our value comes with helping people to understand, number one, your rights, understand, and we fight against discrimination all the time. But, at the same token, being nonpartisan, one of our bigger areas of concentration is on getting people registered to vote, but also assisting when we can to help people get out the vote. Once again, Illinois was one of those states that had 2 weeks of early voter registration. And as I stated from the Chicago stats, out of 1,570,000 registered voters, only 68% came out and actually voted within a 2-week period. There is something wrong with that, especially when we had 2 weeks of good weather. We had, 2 weeks of polls being open from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. And then on election day, polls were open from 6 a.m. To 7 p.m. There was no way that not more than 68 people should have been able to come out and vote. Give us a call, 312-738-1060. Give us your comments, maybe some questions. Let us know how you feel about the outcome of this past Tuesday's election. Now, nationally, well, I'm going to give you some Illinois results as well. Illinois, these are estimates because Illinois' total votes have not been certified yet, but the Democratic Party for president had 55.4% outcome or percentage of the total votes, and the Republican candidate had 39.4% of the total registered voters. And this, like I said, the state of Illinois is not certified just yet. So these are numbers that I was able to retrieve from our Illinois election results from this past Tuesday. They will certify these numbers hopefully within the next week or so, and then we can bring you more factual data at that point. Also within the state of Illinois, if you look at the map, they show Illinois as a blue state. We have, of the U.S. Senates, we have 2 U.S. senators. We have many U.S. congressmen, but we now have 2 U.S. Democratic senators for the state of Illinois. And we have it doesn't give me the tally. Yes, it does. We have 11 Democratic congressmen in the state of Illinois and 7 Republican representatives for the House, U.S. House of Representatives out of the state of Illinois. When it comes to our state senators, those who do business for us here for the state of Illinois, we have 26 Democratic state senators. We have 14 Republican state senators. And out of the House of Representatives, we do have our state representatives, as we call them. The Democrats have 67 Democratic representatives and 51 Republican representatives. So, I don't know if which way which party you're in line with, but those are the numbers as it relates to the state of Illinois. Also, there was an amendment to the state constitution. The results were 78.9% of people voting yes on a transportation tax and fee lockbox, which means that, monies will be set aside in a kitty just for our state transportation, our roadways and things of that nature. So I don't know if that was a good thing or a bad thing, but now we have a pocket of money, a bank of money specifically for our roadways. So that's a good thing. But so far, once again, if the election has gone your way, then that is great. If it was not in your favor, give me a call and let us know your thought, 312-738-1060, and let us know your thoughts and give us your comments. We do have the results, I do believe, from the Cook County Clerk's Office. Dorothy Brown won by 67% of voters in her favor against her opponent. And then for the comptroller for the state of Illinois, we have a Suzanne Mendoza, who's a Democrat, won with 49% of the vote in her favor. We have some the recorder of deeds for Cook County was uncontested. That's Karen Yarbrough, a Democrat. The state's attorney's race, a Democrat, Fox, won with 72% of the vote in her favor. And then, of course, we had our water commissioners and a few other people from the local side. I won't go into those. Once again, many of the congressmen that I'm familiar with, and the first U.S. congressmen, the 1st, 2nd, 7th district are Democrats. And also Tammy Duckworth, like I stated, won as the Democrat U.S. Senator for the state of Illinois. So those are just some results that I was able to retrieve and bring to you. But I want to hear your comments. 312-738-1060. And as always, our office, I always forget to give you this information. Feel free to give our office a call. We're at 773-261-5890. Write that number down. Anytime you have a question or comment once we're off air, you can always call our office and leave a message. We're located at 5820 West Chicago Avenue. That's right at Chicago Avenue in Mayfield on the west side of Chicago. And as always, we invite you to attend our monthly meetings, which are the first Saturday of every month at 1 p.m. You're invited. Membership is open. Meetings are open to the public. We welcome your membership. If you are a member, we welcome your involvement, your engagement. We have so much work to do for the next coming 2 years to get more people registered to vote, but also to get people out to vote. And we're hoping that more people like you, our audience, can join us. Membership is always open to anyone, whether you're a youth. We have a youth council for those under 18. We have a college division for those that are attending a university or city college from 18 up to 24. And then our adult membership where we engage our members into so much activity because there's so much work to be done. We're all volunteers. We're passionate about what we do. Being here as a host on CAN TV is one of those things that we volunteer to do. And, I've never had to take an opportunity to do this, but CAN TV here had a open house today. The audience, people turned out. The city's local organizations came out to meet and greet the staff, and they're having a lot of fun out there right now, and I'm going to get out there and try to enjoy that for a few minutes. But we are here Thursdays till the end of December. Thursdays, 6 p.m. till 6:30, 6:25 p.m. And once again, you're always welcome to call our office at 773-261-5890. I am Phyllis Logan, your host, and I look to follow up with some more updates and some announcements for you next week. We have a few community events that will be going on through the holidays, and we're hoping that you can join us. And until then, have a safe evening and try to enjoy the weather as long as it's staying nice out there. So thank you again, and have a good evening.